Welcome to this week's Crochet Conversations with
Yaya Loren
and Muriel Lillian. You know which classes today? Well, we are here wrapping up some projects and showing you where we are progressing. I just wanted to show a couple of more crochet tips on this blanket that I started in week one. Well, showed you in week one. It's done basically. Okay, it's the size that I want. But when you end a project, you might want a nice clean edge versus just the raw edge of the granny square. So I'm going to teach you guys what I do to trim a blanket. Sorry, I unraveled one of my favorite squares. And sorry, give them a preview or just a little quick summary of what you're going to be doing.
So today I'm gonna be connecting my squares to each other using a continuous grain square stitch. I saw a little bit about this on Instagram and YouTube, so I want to give it a try. I've heard it's supposed to be a lot easier than just like single crocheting or slip stitching like all the way down the edge, all your stuff together. Much cleaner look too. So I'm gonna be doing that, and then I also wanted to share with you guys like how I block my stuff. Which blocking is basically like, I don't know, like washing and drying your crochet after the fact of making it, so that way it is like more flowy and like looser, I guess. I don't really know.
Texture changes the texture.
Makes it more like fabric rather than like, I don't know, stiff. It just loosens it up.
Okay. So that will be to come. So to change colors, which we didn't, I know Zaria changed colors in her original granny squares that she showed you in week one. Last week she was working on the black ones. I'm going to show you one way that I changed colors. And I got a new ball of yarn. This is a white color weight 4 yarn, which we told you about. It says it right on the label. When you purchase yarn, it tells you the weight, recommended hook sizes, or 5.5 millimeter size. And if you're knitting, because there's a different needle for knitters, we do crochet. It's I think that says a 8 millimeter US. What's that say? I got contacts on it. I still can't see.
US, but it's if you're going by US, it's a 9 millimeter hook crochet.
Oh, 9 and an 8 and an 8. Knitting. Okay. So what Zaria showed you, like you can choose the crochet size hook that you want, but this is the recommended size. And it usually is because there's a pattern on the yarn and the pattern's inside. So you try to rip this off carefully if you want to make that pattern. The pattern's inside on the black label. Okay. So I am going to carefully open my yarn. Like I said, there's directions in here. And a pattern in here for you to try to make this neat blanket. But since we're already making my baby blankets, my infamous baby blanket, one way that we showed you last week for starting your crochet is a slip stitch or slip knot. I kept calling it slip stitch, a slip knot. And you can change colors in your crochet by doing a slip knot also. So I want to change from pink to white. Where it came off. You would cut your yarn and leave some room. So there's a tail. Remember, I already said tails. Leave a tail. I made a slip knot on this white thread. And I could go through the top hole of where I'm trying to connect it to. Put the slip knot on my hook. And then what you do is you tie the two tails together. So there's a tail on the white and the tail on the pink. And you would join them together using a knot similar to like you tie your shoes without bunny ears. Okay. And once you make that knot, I'm going to now take my working yarn, which is now white because I just switched colors, and pull that through the hole. Oops, so it fell off my hook. Eli's gonna say hi. We're in a new location today because we're some construction's going on the other side of the home.
Same location, different area.
Same location, yes. Let me pull this.
Same house.
The same house. So, okay, so now I pulled the white hook through. Sorry, it took me a moment to do that. And then I'm gonna chain up one. I'm only chaining up one because I'm now going to trim off this blanket. So this blanket is completely finished, but I just wanted to have a nice white trim, and that'll just kind of make it very cohesive. I'm gonna do a single crochet, which is what you learned last week. So this blanket is a granny square blanket, 30 by 30 with a single crochet trim. And you basically grab that tail. I like to grab that tail, and it's called sewing in your tail as you go. Some people leave them out and you can weave them in at the end, and we'll explain what weaving in is at the very end. But I like to hold that tail. And since I'm doing a single crochet, I'm going to go under every single space and just make a single crochet. And I'm going to trim this blanket off. And I will pass this off to Zaria as I continue to trim. And you'll meet me at the end.
All right, guys, so I'm finishing up my last two clusters on this connecting stitch, and then let me take you that I show you how to block, and then you'll just get back into it. And I have like a little thing right here so you guys can see how I get it done. And this is like the first time I've ever done blocking this way. So yeah, now I'm down at the end of my continuous granny square stitch. Dang, I'm wearing black. Bad idea.
Do you know the white pillow?
I started my square. My square started like this. It doesn't really look much different. But I've gone so far around 3 sides. 1, 2, 3. In the same granny square stitch. Granny square stitch. What I've been using, and then I'm gonna start attaching like the next one on this side, and then like connect them together.
And while we are, we forgot to say, like, share, and subscribe to these videos. So we're going to continue to bring you more content. We're enjoying connecting with you, and thank you for those that have made some comments in our previous videos. So like, share, and subscribe, and you can follow my crochet page at Made by Auntie Muriel, which is on Instagram, and let them know how to find you on Instagram.
You can follow me on Instagram at Yaya Loren, which is YAYALOREN. No underscores, no nothing, just but to my blocking, I have my steamer. It's already plugged in, it's already ready to go. You can kind of see the green light. There's a little bit of water in here because I was using it earlier. I had 40 of these black ones that I had blocked already. So that's why there's a little bit of water left. And then I'm using this foam board. It's 4 pieces actually. You can see better on the back. And it's foam board, like puzzle piece. Put them together. I got these pins like this. They're kind of thicker, but they have this spot up top because I didn't want anything to slide off. And I put them every 4 inches. So I wanted my squares to be about 4 by 4 inches. But you can see that, like, I want to show them.
Maybe I help you hold it again.
I'm just no, I got it, I think. Like on this side, you see how like these ones are nice and flat, and then these ones are up still. So these are the ones I need to block. Everything else on the board has been blocked already. So that's basically why I'm blocking my stuff, is because like I don't want my pieces to be chunky and I don't want them to feel heavy or bulky or anything like that. I really want it to be lightweight and breathable and airy because it's going to be a gift for a summer birthday coming up in like 2 weeks. So like I don't want anything hot in the summer. So basically we're going to take it from like being so tight like this. And we're going to make them nice and flat like this because there's 2 pieces over here and you could barely tell. That's what I want versus on this side you can see like the space. But to do that, I'm going to just angle it down a little bit. To do that, these are the 6 that I'm working in right here in this side. This steamer has a lock on it, so you can push the button and then lock it so that way you don't have to like sit there and hold it and like get cramp in your finger. But between each of the 4 pins I have, I'll go one direction, like up and down a few times like this. And you can already start to see it like getting lower than the other one, and then I'll just go the other direction because it's a square. So I want it to be even and I want it to be parallel. And then you just do that over all of the squares. Make sure your pins are not too loose. I'm kind of being cautious of what's underneath my board right now. Earlier I was on the floor, which is, you know, much harder than a nice cushiony bench. It's supposed to be in the office once it's all decorated and ready. But yeah, so just same thing over each of the squares. I'm going up and down or left and right, and then the opposite direction to really just get it to stretch out and be the size that I want it to be. Sometimes I have to go and like hold the pin, so that way it doesn't stretch too much. This is like the only way I've ever blocked. I know there's other ways, like you can soak your stuff and then wrap it up in a towel, let it out to dry. I think there's another way, but this is the easiest and fastest way for me, and it could like least amount of mess, you know. Just need a steamer and some foam board. I think you can get at Walmart, the alphabet tiles.
So can I jump back in for a second? Just want to jump back in on trimming because I told you I'm going to do single crochets all the way around. I've already did from my starting point up to this corner. I cornered it and then I went across this edge. But I just wanted to talk about in the corner. In the corner, so that I can keep that square shape of my blanket. I don't want to just put one single crochet in the corner because it will not keep it shapely in the square shape that I want, firm in the square 90-degree angle that I want. So in order to, when you get to the corner, if you're trimming a blanket in the corner, you want to put 3 to 5 of the stitch in the same place. And I'm going to do 3 on this one. Sometimes I do 5. And then I'm gonna just continue after I do 3 in that corner. I'm gonna continue back to doing singles. So I just want to jump back in and say to keep the corners nice and kind of rounded, I am doing 3 single crochets in the same place. Just so I can do that. So I just want to let you know you have to corner your trim. And by doing that, you add multiple stitches in the same place, and then you go back to single crochet. Thanks. Go ahead, back to Zara. Back to Yaya.
Yeah, basically with that, I'm done blocking my last couple squares. I'm just gonna leave them here. They're not necessarily wet or like anything like that. But I'm just gonna let them sit here and dry for a few minutes just because like I want them to settle in the shape that I put them in the size that I have placed them in. So I don't want to like move them too much just yet. But as far as for like the other ones that are on the board, like I could take these off right now and start crocheting with them to the shirt. Everything is ready, so yeah.
So what was you doing to the black ones? What was you say you went around 3 times? So what are you doing?
So yeah, so this is how it will be at the end. I should have showed you what it looked like at the beginning. And I could go get one, but it's actually upstairs. But yeah, you see how it's like nice and drapey now, and it like just flows, and it's very, I don't know, airy. Like I don't know how else to explain it, but on these ones, I'm basically doing what you're doing, but just not actually what you're doing.
You're going around them in a granny square pattern, but are you connecting 2 together?
I'm gonna connect all of them together eventually, yeah. So like this one, I already ran around my 3 sides. There's 2. On this one, I already went around this side, that side, and that side. I didn't go across the bottom.
So that's 1 granny square?
That's 1.
Oh,
And then you take this one at like the corner, like normal, how you would do corner, and then you come on this side and attach it
with a slip stitch, natural slip stitch, and not a slip knot.
Yeah, slip stitch.
Okay.
And then yeah, and then you chain. 1, 2, 3, I chain 3. And then you start making your granny cluster. Or no, you don't chain, because the chain is already chained.
Okay.
That's how you connect with them.
Oh, you chained 3 and then you did a slip stitch to connect them.
Yes.
Okay, so you don't need an additional 3. Okay.
And then, so from there, and another chain, I slip stitch. And then from there, you do the same thing. You do it one step, touch the, hold on, one second. And then, yeah, you do your cluster. Well, I think you still need to chain 3 though sometimes, because you have to start the cluster.
So yeah, so you're trying to, so she's trying to connect multiple the granny squares together, but keep the same pattern in between the 2 that she's connecting, right? That's the goal.
Yes.
Okay. So it's a little technical for her.
This is the first time I've ever done this.
Yeah, it's the first time she's ever done this, so it's gonna come out great.
Right learning curve.
Yeah, which is why we're here wanting to share with you guys and learn with you guys as well. Teaching you things we're learning as we're showing you what we know how to do.
I only watched the video on it once. Myself, yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I should put the video back up.
So,
oh, but we can angle this back up now.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how you blog.
okay.
Figure it out yourself, I guess.
Trimming.
If you got questions, ask for real.
So what we'll do is we will pause the video and I'll come back at the end to show you when I get to the end of my trim, and then when Daria, unless you have something that you want them to see right now. All right, so we're gonna pause the video and we'll come back at the end.
You don't necessarily have to pause. You can fast forward to
We'll either pause or fast forward. Next thing you're see is us doing this. Because I want to show you guys how to do like an increase and a decrease, but I definitely want to.
Yeah, no shame either. Like, I don't know how to do this for real, so I'm watching the video from on YouTube from Hooks by Robin. It's called How to Crochet a Continuous Joint as You Go. Nothing. Granny Square Journey. So if you want to watch her video, she said she saw this from someone else. I don't remember who she said she saw it from, but I know I saw it from her.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't see it from her. I saw it from another girl, actually. But we don't have to get too deep.
Yeah, but I like that. Like, there's people out there teaching, we're learning from them, and we're hoping to give you guys an introduction and let you guys learn a couple things from us as we learn from others. Again, we are looking for people to come in on Tuesdays to kind of get some personalized lessons. We want to help you. I've heard from a couple people that they've already. It is a payment plan, so some people want to do a payment plan. We're happy to take a payment plan. Sitting down with us for 2 hours is $25 per class. You can just pay a deposit, because when you pay your deposit, we would like to get you some initial supplies that you will need so that you can have a crochet kind of starter kit. And then we will train you on some of the different stitches. And then once you find a pattern that you really want to master and create, we will guide you the entire way through your project. And so it's $25 a week, and you're getting 2 of the best teachers. And depending on how many people we have, we can work with you one-on-one. But we're excited to help you and excited to get you started on your journey. And so I'll put this is for people that live in the New England area close to the South Shore in Massachusetts. So it is in our personal home. So we are only taking kind of people close by. If we get a large number, we could go to a place down the street. But we only are taking serious people because we're not really about inviting a lot of strangers into our home. But we are willing to start the class and get going with a few of you guys. And let's grow this so we can have a class and continue to connect and network together as we all enjoy learning more and more about crochet. So I'm almost to the end. I'm sorry that I'm not going that fast. I'm a little warm, but but, and trying to think of what to say, and we don't really want silence, but we told you earlier, like crochet is about, it's peaceful and meditating. Like when we're sitting here, like Zaria's focused, I'm focused on our work, and our mind is just actually, to me, relaxing. It's not frustrating. We're learning and we're enjoying it. So sitting together side by side in silence crocheting is actually her and I enjoying each other's company while we crochet. But just for the sake of a video, we don't want you guys just staring at us. And I will take her advice and speed it up. So I'm gonna do this. We'll speed this up. Be back in a minute. All right. Welcome back. I have now gotten to the end where I am going to do my, instead of doing a another single crochet, I'm right above where I started. I'm going to stick my needle in, grab a piece of white yarn, and I'm going to pull that yarn all the way through the loop. That's called a slip knot. So what is called fastening off when you're at the end of your project is after you do that slip knot, you do grab another piece of yarn from your working yarn and pull it through, and you make it a little long. And then when you cut this, you pull it all the way through. That's going to make a knot, and that's called fastening off. So another technique that we're going to share for you today, which will be the last thing for this episode, is how to complete our work. Because if you have tails lying around, which I sew in my tails in the granny square so you don't see them, but if you are someone that changes colors and you leave your tails out, you would have a tail of brown, tail of white, tail of pink, tail of brown, tail of pink, tail of white, all the way up. So you would need to go back and sew them in. Whichever way is comfortable for you is fine. It took me a while before I learned to sew in my tails and make it look seamless. But I am at the end of my work, and I have a pink yarn where the tail that I had connected to the white, and I have the white tail that I just fastened off to complete my project. I am going to take a yarn needle, once I get it out of my little handy dandy bag. I have some yarn needles, and I'll put a picture of them and zoom them in. I'll use a blue one, maybe just for contrast sake. You can't see it here, but it's a little, I'll get up for a second. Sorry, y'all, I got a bad knees too. It is a needle. Can you see it? Oh, there we go. It's like a sewing needle. See, there has an eye and a point. You see it when it gets the back of my hand. So it's called a yarn needle. So what I'm going to do is sew in my ends. So I fastened off. I'm going to take the pink one first. I'm going to put it through the eye of the needle, just like if you was threading a needle to sew. If any of you sew and mend ever use a sewing needle. And then I'm going to just go through the pink yarn spots, and I'm going to tuck this under a few spots and pull it through. And you want to go in different directions when you're weaving in your ends, because you don't want this tail to come out in the wash. So I like to go across, go down, go back across, go up and across. Because if the fabric stretches, the tail won't come out. And then when you wash it, it can't unravel. Because remember, we showed you that yarn can unravel if you go in the same place. If I just went straight across, it could unravel, and then the whole project could unravel if that knot got loose. So by going in a couple of different directions, I've learned that from watching other crocheters, the best way to sew in your end is to go a couple of different change directions. And that way the tail will be sewn in very well. And then it's less likely to unravel. So after I went a couple directions, I now can just snip very closely, and that's gone there. And we're gonna do the same with the white tail. I'm gonna thread my yarn needle And then I'm going to go back and forth. Now, because I only did this one row of trim, and it's gonna be a little bit harder to go back and forth, but I'm gonna go down a little ways because I left a long tail, and I'm gonna come back a little bit ways, and then I'm gonna go down again. So hopefully that will help this because it's just a short single crochet space that I'm going in. But by going in those different directions, if the yarn was ever to stretch, it will not unravel. And then,
I'm frogging, guys, because I'm a slow.
hey, ribbit. Uncle Sally said whenever she says frogging, I should say ribbit. It will make this video more fun. So, ribbit.
For the men, I guess.
Yeah, as he's watching, he's enjoying it. So I went down left, I just came back right. I'm gonna go down left again. I think 3 times the charm. Do it go 3 times. And then you pull it through. And then I'm gonna cut that off. And round of applause. The blanket is done. Ready for the girl to be born in October. And I will be putting this in the wash. And then I will be wrapping up this one and the green one and delivering it to the happy family, the parents, the proud parents of 2 grandbabies. So you guys, thank you. I hope you like my little granny square blanket.
Hope you like learning about blocking. I didn't really teach you like to continuous stitch, but it's on your mind now. Yes, because I brought it up.
And it's the process. You're teaching them a process, and you guys, you're actually watching Zaria go through this process from scratch to finish. So by time we're probably at the end of our crochet conversation season, you will see this is an actual shirt.
The shirt's gonna be done by next week.
Oh,
You
period.
know when your birthday is?
I do. You said 2 weeks. It's not, it's
It was this week.
a week, yeah. Do I not know when your birthday is? So I want to show you guys my next project that I'm gonna be coming along with you guys. Are gonna come along with me, I should say, on. So I got this nice, do I have the one with the label? I didn't bring the one with the label down, did I? No. I have this nice blue yarn, which is an acrylic cotton blend, and this is a bikini yarn. So this is a yarn that's advertised to make swimwear and things like that. So I'm gonna start to make a bikini top out of this. I am heading to Jamaica for a 50th birthday party, and blue is one of the colors of the theme. So the last crochet top I made, I gave to her was red, and that was for my 50th birthday, but it didn't fit me. I gave it to my daughter. So now I've learned how to and she wore it, it was cute too. And she has the yarn so she can make her own bottom now. So I think that's something that you could show them when you start making your bottom. But I'm gonna make a bikini. What I'm gonna use so that I can know that this time it fits me is a previous bikini top that I have. I presently have a bikini top. It's black, so you can't see it. But this is a triangle cup. So I'm gonna make a triangle cup string bikini top in this yarn, and I'm gonna use this for so I know this size fits me. I'm gonna use this size to make sure that my triangles, sorry, I'm wearing black on black, so that the triangles, so this is a crochet triangle, and doing a triangle, you have to do increases and decreases. So we'll show you that next time. And this will help me measure it so that it really fits me and I can wear it this time without giving it away. So that's all I have for this week. And I will start this project. I'll probably have one cup done and then show you some of the key things that I've done next week when I build the other cup. Anything you want to say for final commentary?
I got 2 squares together, guys. 2 of 70.
Yes, 2 of 70 is done. Well, thank you for watching. Again, please like, share, and subscribe to our videos. Please share it with your family and your loved ones. Please tell a friend and tell a friend to watch. We are enjoying this. I am. And again, we want to hear more from you in the comments. Is there something that you want to try? or have you tried something, send us a picture. I think they can send pictures to us in the Instagram, YouTube comments. No, that's
I
probably
don't
Twitter.
know YouTube, but you have our Instagram.
You have our Instagram. Yeah, chat with us in Instagram. But we showed you some of the tools today, yarn needles, and that's all I got. So over and out.
So like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow us on Instagram, but don't follow us in real life.
It. Bye. Peace.